Hey y'all, welcome to Lumberjoville's figure history video, where I take a specific female superstar and review all of their figures, starting from their first in the line and ending with their most recent. Today we're going to be covering Ronda Rousey, and although her tenure in the WWE was very short, only lasting about a year and a half, it was very historic, and her 7 figures represent that. Now on top of getting a closer look on each figure, I'm also going to look at the attire, and I did some research to find exactly what event Mattel based their attire off of per figure. And at the very end, we'll do a countdown from my least favorite to my favorite Ronda Rousey figure. That being said, let's start off with her first in the line basic figure. Basic Series 90, released in 2018. Attire from the Royal Rumble 2018, which took place on January 28th. So this was Ronda's very first figure in the line, and it is a simple one, but it does signify when she made that surprise appearance at the end of the Royal Rumble in 2018 and pointed to the Wrestlemania sign, minus her leather jacket she wore, of course. Now this was a very iconic moment, and I love that they gave her a little smiley face because that was her overall demeanor that night. Even though this sculpt or this scan really does not look like her very well. They would make minor detail changes to that in 2 figures in her first Elite, which really makes it look great, but this one just misses for me. Now going to her attire, she just has this painted on shirt, which is the Hot Ronda shirt that I'm wearing, and it looks pretty nice in detail. Her pants are just a baggy windbreaker type pant, but it works fine. My biggest gripe with this figure is it's very tall, lanky, and skinny, and she has a very muscular physique, so I really don't think this figure displays that. But to be honest with you, they really put this on the shelves pretty quickly, so I think they might have rushed this one out a little too fast. Elite Series 65, released in 2019. Attires from the Elimination Chamber 2018, which took place on February 25th. Now this was an absolutely historic night, not just for Ronda, but for the whole women's evolution. And on this night the figure is modeled after, she signed her Raw contract and most notably slammed Triple H through a freaking table. And this Elite actually comes with that table that breaks in the middle, along with this red fabric cloth, a pin, and a contract with her name on it. Now looking at the figure, this is a new face scan from her first in the line figure, and this is much improved. The hair mold is the same, but the face looks just like her. Now moving on to her attire, something I noticed is her first in the line figure was based on her appearance at the end of the Royal Rumble. And in that appearance, she's wearing a very baggy leather jacket. Well, that was Roddy Piper's jacket. Fast forward to when she signed her Raw contract and she was wearing a more form-fitting, smaller leather jacket that was not Roddy's. And that's what they meant to do with this one. However, the little triangular designs are that of Roddy Piper's leather jacket. So just an interesting side fact note. Now looking closely at the detail, I mean the molding on this jacket's great. The little gold accent's awesome. And this black shirt, along with the Rowdy painted on in two-tone yellow and red, looks awesome underneath. She has these black leatherish type pants. And overall, I think this is an awesome Elite and truly underrated in my opinion. You can get this on the cheap pretty much anywhere nowadays. And it's sad because this really should not have warmed the pegs. But my guess is Mattel produced a lot of them because they knew she would be hot. Ultimate Edition, released in 2019. Attire is from Wrestlemania 34 on April 8th, 2018. This was another historic night where her and Kurt Angle defeated Stephanie and Triple H in a tag match. Now this is the first time we got to see Ronda in action in the ring, and it almost stole the show, being one of the truly great matches on the night. So I have always been hesitant on these Ultimate figures. To me, being a display primary collector, I don't see a point in having so many parts that won't be used. But on this Ultimate, I ate my words, and it's because this Ultimate version you can swap parts out and make a truly awesome Ronda, and I'll show you that. But first, let's cover how she comes straight out of the box. So she comes packaged in her ring attire from WrestleMania 34, and has that Rowdy on her chest in yellow lettering and a red trim, which is very signature to that night. As you can see, she also comes with a pair of open hands, her entrance kilt, which is only available one more time, and then extra jacket arms, the jacket mold, and then 2 extra heads. Now this head we've seen used, and this one is unique to this figure. You don't get this one again, the smiling ponytail. Now, before I show you my Ultimate Ronda transformation, I have to point out a truly bizarre move by Mattel. And it's this muscular back mold. And no one needs to tell me or question my female anatomy. I'm just telling you, this is a very odd design choice. They've never done this before. Even on Chyna's back, they don't go through this much muscular detail. So I don't know if it was a botch or if it was an attempt to make a muscular back, but it just doesn't look right, honestly. It looks bizarre. Now that being said, let's transform her into my ultimate Ronda Rousey. Now this is what my ultimate Ronda looks like. With the jacket arms, that ponytail smile head, and also that kilt on. Now this is the only way to get Ronda with her entrance jacket, her kilt, and her ring attire underneath. And I absolutely love how this Elite looks. So to me, this is 100% worth that Elite price point, and this makes sense. Now, in the future, I will begrudgingly review the Becky Lynch Ultimate, but that'll be in her history video, and it doesn't come near this quality. So I love how this looks. Basic Series 101, released in 2019. Attires from Raw on September 17th, 2018. Now, on this episode of Raw, she teamed up with the Bella Twins to defend off the Riot Squad after they attacked Natalya on the entrance ramp and then attacked Ronda. Now, this to me is a great basic figure of Ronda in a basic version of her ring gear. She has an angry face that resembles her great, along with her ponytail braided. The all-black attire with gold lettering also looks great, and I love the inclusion of the signature painted on gloves that she wears. So overall, this is a pretty sharp-looking basic. Basic Series 105, released in 2020. Attire is from Wrestlemania 35 on April 7th, 2019. Now, on perhaps the most historic night in the women's evolution, she lost to Becky Lynch in a triple threat match involving Charlotte Flair in the first ever all-women's main event in WrestleMania history. Side note, Becky Lynch's Ultimate is also from this match, and is where she became Becky Two Belts. Now, this was also Ronda Rousey's first loss, in her last match in the WWE. Now, even though this is just a basic, the significance of this attire in that match makes this a must-own for women's wrestling fans. She has that angry face mold with the ponytail, which works great, and the Rowdy is painted in two-tone, yellow and red. She has that black spandex, and this time they included Japanese text on that left side with Rousey, and on the right, little tiger claws. And the boots this time are a combination of red and white, and it looks really awesome. So this basic does a great job of resembling her appearance on that historic night, and it's a great figure to boot. Basic Series 105 Chase variant, released in 2020. Attire is from Raw on December 24th, 2018. Now on this night, she defended the Raw Women's Championship, defeating Natalya in the process. It was a really good match. Now this is a Chase variant, so the details different is that the top is this time all black with red lettering and the white outline. And the shorts are red this time with black lettering and black claw marks with that white outline. Now this is a basic Chase repaint, but considering it does match up to what she wore that night, pretty spot on. This is a great Chase variant, and it's very unique, so I love it. Elite Series 77, released in 2020. Attire is from SummerSlam 2018, which took place on August 19th. So to continue the list of historic nights her figures depict, on this SummerSlam Eve, she defeated Alexa Bliss to win the Raw Women's title. She went on to have the longest Raw Women's title reign at the time at 232 days. That is until WrestleMania 35, where Becky Lynch would win her title and surpass Ronda's record down the road, holding it for 373 days. Now, the first thing you'll notice about this figure is that they added the stunning eye makeup that she had applied that night. My only minor complaint is as far as the hair mold goes, it's not very accurate to that night, as she had a much more intricate design on the sides. Now, she has a black top with Rowdy painted on in two-tone yellow and red, and she also comes with her entrance kilt, which was only available previously on her Ultimate, so that's a nice addition. Now, under her kilt, she has black spandex shorts with Rousey on the left side, and two-tone lines of red and yellow. Now, she has pretty generic short boots, but that's okay. It works just fine. And yes, this is the second time that they have included her back dominoes. Now, I'm going to make a whole separate video on this and just the awkward design choice by Mattel, but we'll get into that later. Now, the coolest thing is that this figure comes with the Raw Women's Championship, which is perfect considering that's what she won that night, so how fitting. Now, this is an excellent Elite, and if you somehow are unable to get the Ultimate, this one's a fine choice. and should be on store shelves as this video is released. So before we rank her 7 figure releases, I just wanted to show you something I did. So I had a USPS Amazon delivery mishap that delayed this video, but long story short, I ended up with an extra basic 105 Ronda chase. And since I had extra heads from her Ultimate, I popped on that smiling head on this basic body and bam, it looks like a Ronda Rousey weigh-in figure. Now I know I didn't do much, but I love the uniqueness of this, and I love how it looks. I'm not a custom dude, but I'm proud of how this basic head swap looks. Now anyway, let's get on with my personal ranking of her 7 releases. At number 7, we have Basic Series 90. Number 6, we have Basic 105 Chase Variant. At number 5, we have Basic Series 101. At number 4, we have Basic 105 Regular Version. Number 3, we have Elite Series 65. Number 2, we have SummerSlam Elite Series 77. And number 1, we have the Ultimate Edition. So in summary, is Ronda Rousey done with the WWE? Only time will tell. The one thing for sure is her 1.5 year run had a lot of figures come out in that short period of time, and each of the 7 represents a pretty iconic moment. So Mattel did a really good job of displaying that with Ronda. Now thanks for stopping by and checking out the history of Ronda Rousey figures. Have a good night, y'all.